Alright, my name is Aiden, and in this video, I'm going to show you my exact A to Z cold email setup checklist that you can copy and paste whenever you are setting up a cold email infrastructure. Now, I'm going to have this checklist linked in the description below, and what I want you to do is to just make a copy of this Notion document right here by clicking duplicate and referring back to the document and this video whenever you need to set up a new cold email infrastructure, whether it be for yourself or for a client. Now, before I get into the content of this checklist, let's talk about why cold email is effective in the first place and why you should be using it if you are not already. So, cold email is the most scalable and effective outbound outreach mechanism out there. The alternatives are essentially cold DMs, like LinkedIn, like Twitter DMs, etc., or cold calling. And none of those are scalable. Cold DMs, there are limits to how many DMs you can send in your account. And cold calling, you can't leverage automation. You must be you must be the one, or having a dialer, be the one to speak to prospects. With cold email, we can set up an automated infrastructure to automatically reach out to your clients. And once you have the information of the key decision makers, you can use a bunch of merge fields to automatically personalize the emails and book calls for your business on autopilot. So, before I get into the exact checklist, if you're a B2B business and you want this cold email setup created, done for you, with a couple other things, such as leveraging AI to consistently fill your pipeline with new customers, and also having an automated retention system so that you actually keep the new customers that you're getting. Check out my agency right here, vrobeldigital.com, and we'll set up everything for you. All right, so let's get right into it. The first thing you're going to want to do is buy 5 secondary domains on Google Domains. The reason why we do this is because if you're sending a bunch of emails from your primary domain, you can quickly burn it, and then your main emails, the emails that you use to send, for business and all that stuff, they won't work anymore. They'll always land in spam. And in addition, the reason why we do 5 instead of just doing a single secondary domain is because if there's a bunch of emails on one domain, that can significantly harm the deliverability. And in addition, we do a limited amount of emails. So we do 10 emails instead of doing a single email, because we found that sending a low amount of emails, roughly 30 to 40 per day, mimics natural sending patterns and allows you to land in the primary inbox at higher rates, and also prevents you from getting into spam. So onto the actual content of this first checkbox. Once you buy the five, so when you buy the 5 secondary domains, you should make sure that the domains are related to your primary domain. So for instance, my main domain is verbeldigital.com. So a good secondary domain for me to buy would be hellodigital.com. A rough guideline for these is that they should all be .com domains and they should have no dashes to maximize deliverability. Once you finish this, check it off. Then, under each domain, while you're still purchasing them on Google Domains, I want you to add one business starter account for each domain. We're going to add a second one later, but while you're checking out on Google Domains, they only allow you to add one. The third step is, once you finish this, go into the Google Domains dashboard for each of your domain, and make them redirect to your primary domain. This is so that if somebody checks your domain during your cold outbound, it'll actually direct to your primary domain, and give them all the information they need. The next step is to install DMARC. DMARC is essentially an authentication record that Google uses to prevent phishing attempts and ultimately allow you to land in the inbox at higher rates. If you're not using Google Domains, you also want to install DKIM and SPF, which are also authentication records, but those come pre-installed on all Google Domain accounts. The next thing you're going to want to do is add custom domain tracking URLs to your DNS. The reason why we do this is because within cold email softwares there are essentially shared tracking domains, but by using those, Google tends to lump you in with all the other people that are sending a bunch of cold outreach emails, and this harms your deliverability. So if you're using a cold outreach tool like Instantly or SmartLead, you can add your own custom tracking URL to ensure better deliverability. So once you finish all these steps, now you're going to want to create a second email for each domain. So this is going to mean that you will have 2 emails per domain with a total of 10 emails. The email username must be different. So for example, if my first email is aiden@vrobeldigital.com, my second email could be aidenv@vrobeldigital.com. Once you finish with that, add a profile picture to all 10 emails to make sure that they have that human touch, that it's not just a letter reaching out to them, that it feels like a real person. At this point, you're ready to add all of your email accounts to your cold email software. My recommendations are Instantly, Melody, or Smartly. Once you finish that, check it off. Now, the best way to connect your Google Workspace accounts to these cold email softwares is with OAuth. So you can do like a manual connection, but it doesn't work as well. It's not as stable. Use OAuth. So the way you're going to do that, your cold email tool should walk you through that, but you're essentially just going to copy and paste the OAuth code into your Google admin panel. Once OAuth is set up for all 5 domains, you can now connect all 10 domains to the cold email software. Connect the custom tracking domain you set up earlier so that you can track and still maintain your deliverability. Set up a custom signature for each email. I suggest using some spin tags in the signature itself to make sure that you have variability. At this point, you'll be ready to enable warm-up for all of your emails. What warm-up does is put you in a pool with a bunch of other people who are sending cold emails, and essentially you guys will send automated emails back and forth to each other and interact with them. And this is a way of automatically increasing your reputation and creating essentially false interaction that Google sees as real, which will ultimately allow you to land an inbox at a higher rate. Now, once you finish the 14-day email warm-up process, I want you to check this off. The reason why we wait 14 days is to essentially allow the email to warm up. If we were to send 60 emails on the day we create the account, Google will just blacklist us and take our domain reputation to the floor. So we don't want to do that. We want to wait 14 days and slowly ramp up the emails, about 1, 2, 3 extra emails per day. During the warm-up process, do not send any additional campaigns. Now, once you've finished all of these, you are done with your cold email setup. You are now ready to launch your first campaigns and generating meetings on autopilot. Good luck and happy sending. Cheers.